Lock yourself into blind firing by holding Alt and W, then double tapping Y to open the dialog menu, release Alt and W, and double tap Y again to close the menu. You can walk around freely while locked in this position. You don't have to take the peasant way around the fence to get to the sewer manhole extraction point. Just jump over it, it'll only cost you a few HP from each of your legs. Use middle mouse as a shortcut to fold or unfold stocks. This works in and out of raid and can also be used to inspect items or check mags. The fire selector switch is loud. Press Alt and B to make your character silently check the selector, and while he's still in the checking animation, press B and it will switch silently. You can blind throw grenades somewhat accurately by simply hitting G while in blind fire position. It of course helps accuracy to pre-aim exactly where you want the grenade to go and then looking up slightly just before you throw it. This limits your exposure greatly, and I find it especially handy for the top floor of factory. You can turn a 2-slot optic into a 1-slotter by putting it on a Picatinny riser. On reserve, in the underground tunnel leading up to the dome, there's an easy-to-miss door in the back room here. Follow it all the way to check for 3 spawn points for military items like filters and transmitters. There's also an intel spawn above the duffel bag. If you're a fan of gangsta blasting with the G18, you might want to try removing the rear and front sights for less obstruction while firing. If you go prone and try to aim down sight at a target, only to find that there's a dumbass piece of rock that's in the way, you can attempt to mimic a dangerous caterpillar by blind firing over it. Having a laser helps. You can make yourself a 1-slot attachments keybar by putting an XRS handguard onto an AKS gas tube. And with this thing in your container in a raid, you can attach up to 3 tactical devices, 1 grip, and 1 big boy optic, like an Elcan, Valdez, or a Bravo. You can achieve a similar result by combining the Trax 1, Trax 2, the bridge guide to join them, plus 4 small rails. Using this, you can hold up to 6 tactical devices, 1 grip, and 1 small optic. If you look down as soon as you're locked in place to unlock a door, you can see what the scavs see when they spot you. If you'd like to switch out any attachments on your held weapon without waiting for your character to eventually do the animation of taking them off, pull out your melee weapon, double-click the gun, and now you can start making your changes. They will happen instantly. You can interrupt long shotgun reloads by holding down the fire button. Don't worry about the timing for when to release the hold though, as your character will not just immediately fire once the reload is stopped. You can look behind you by looking directly upwards, holding middle mouse for free look and pushing your mouse forward. You may already know that you can right-click clothing items to preview them before you buy them, but you can also right-click your character to preview the clothing with your currently equipped gear on too. On reserve, you can use this broken down sign to quickly get to the top floor of this loot building. For easy access to all of your saved weapon builds, save the names with a fast and easy to type prefix. I just use ASD. That way, when you want to see a list of your builds, you can just type the prefix and be shown that list. By default, if you press R with an extra mag in your vest, you will reload the mag, obviously. But with any weapon that can be top-loaded, you have a choice of either loading a whole new mag or just top-loading the missing rounds. You can do this by holding R and scrolling to select the loose rounds instead of the mags. Firing the mounted guns on reserve will add to your recoil control skill. You may have noticed the small white dot in the center of your screen when you're looking close to a lootable item. But with max level perception skill, you'll get that little white dot in the middle of your screen even if you're just in the vicinity of loot. So what you could do is drop a bunch of garbage at your feet and use the loot dot as a crosshair.
If something wrong with your face and you have a lot of the red bean in your eye because you the stupid motherfucker who jumped too much in the barbed wire, what you need to do be press the tab button a lot for about the 20 seconds. It be like the windshield wiper for when the pigeon take the big shit on your car, you know? Sure, it take the wrong time, but I think if you want the hot red sauce go away right now, then you need to do this trick.
There's a small hatch in the blue keycard room through which you can throw grenades or shoot people. And finally, you can yeet grenades into the safe room of factory by using this hole.